Tonight on Patriots Unfiltered on TV. In what might have been their biggest win yet, the Patriots fell behind, rallied, and then closed out the Bucs for their 7th consecutive victory. Leave it to the rookies, how the speed of the Patriots' latest draft class powered the Pats. And are you ready for some Thursday night football? The quick turnaround before the Jets come to Foxborough.
Patriots Unfiltered on TV is brought to you by Toyota's official website for deals, buyatoyota.com.
Travion gets outside. Goodbye to the 50, to the 40, to the 30, to the 20, to the 10, to the house. Touchdown, Patriots. There's your ball game.
8-2, baby.
Travion Henderson pumped his legs and jetted past the Bucs in a spectacular performance in Tampa. The New England Patriots have not lost a football game since September. They've won 7 in a row and are tied for the best record in the NFL. Hello again, everyone. I'm Alex Francisco, and this is Patriots Unfiltered on TV. This was the 8th win of the season. That's as many victories as they've had combined in the past 2 years. And this one was earned with grit, resilience, and skill. Let's huddle up now with Paul Perillo and Mike Dussault to talk about it. Against all odds, the Patriots are rolling after another win over Tampa Bay, and now we're riding a 7-game win streak, guys. And I think this is a spot. You're going into Tampa, you're dealing with some injuries. I don't think anyone would be hard-pressed if they dropped this game, and instead they pulled out a scrappy victory. How are you guys feeling about them? Just their ability to get plays done and make stops when they absolutely have to.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. It's just, so impressed with the team, their ability to continue to fight, even when they don't have their A game necessarily. Again, you saw some mistakes down near the end, but they were able to overcome them with, short memories and, like you said, Alex, making plays in key crunch time. That's been just a characteristic of this team that at a certain point, you just have to start to believe this is what this team does.
I've completely done a 180, from the start of the season to now. It's, watching them come up with a stop against Miami when the game's on the line and then do it again against Atlanta. So that when Tampa has the ball after the interception and they get in there, only 5 points down, I'm not really overly concerned that Tampa's going to go down and score because I've seen this defense come up with the stops when they need to. I've seen the offense come up with the key plays to end the game with the ball when they need to. It's amazing to me. Mentally, when you watch the game, you expect good things after the last 2 years. It's a complete 180.
I don't know, this is observational, but I feel like the Patriots play their best football in the second quarter and the third quarter. That middle area of the game, and then it allows the mistakes at the end aren't so bad. Letting up an opening drive isn't that bad, right? Because they play so strong, they get the double scores. Now, is that a pattern that's encouraging to you guys or worrisome?
I think that's been a huge key for this team is their success around halftime, being able to put those double scores up. You go from feeling like the game is, maybe in Tampa's control, and then all of a sudden it swings and the Patriots are again firmly in front and the dynamic of the game changes. It takes away some of what the opponent can do. This team, they're playing great situationally, and that really, around halftime, has been a huge part of it.
Yeah, just the toughness is really what stands out, and it's toughness when the game needs to be won. And even though the scoreboard only said 10-7, I thought Tampa really controlled the way the first half, for the most part, was played. Then all of a sudden, you get a long, methodical drive to close the first half. Patriots go in with a lead, then they come out of the second half, and they get the big play from Travion Henderson. And all of a sudden, you get the double score, and now the Patriots controlled the whole second half.
I don't think Drake was too pressured either. I don't think any of us would say this was the best game we've seen from him. 270 passing yards, completion rate wasn't quite where it's been through October, but Drake Maye has surpassed the odds for he's leading in MVP polls right now.
You're going to expect games like this from a second-year quarterback, that he's not always going to be completing 90% of his passes, but at the same time, to have the ability to make a throw like he did at the end of the game to Mac Hollins too. Ultimately that ended up in probably his worst play of the game with the interception, but still that field position, making those plays in the clutch, having the confidence to go downfield. There's going to be ups and downs with Drake Maye, but to continue to win and continue to make enough plays to help your team win, it's just super impressive.
Just imagine how good it could potentially be if these are the bad games, when and I'm not sugarcoating it. He threw a bad interception in the end zone, but he did make a number of big plays in the course of the game. They're getting contributions now from other guys on the roster. The rookie class stepping up in this game with Henderson and Kyle Williams. So if this is what is going to classify as a bad game for Drake Maye, then the sky's the limit, because he deserves to be at or near the top of those odds for MVP, the way he's put this offense on his back.
Totally. And I wonder if he hadn't been so perfect in October, how we would be discussing these last two games, like maybe we'd give him more grace, but when we saw what we saw.
I feel like we said it the whole time. It was, look, he's not going to complete 90% of his passes for the rest of the year unless he's, a cyborg. Each one of these games, being able to stack a win, but also stack the experience, it bodes so well for a kid who just turned 23 years old and has, really just his whole career still in front of him.
Now, Paul brings up the rookies who made some big X plays. Both those players getting opportunity because of injuries. And I think within the receiver room, you get to flex the depth. Running back, it's getting sketchy.
It is. Sketchy's putting it lightly, and we'll see. Tre'Von Henderson left the game briefly against Tampa. We'll see on a short week if he's able to, get those bumps and bruises out of the way. Christian Barmore being one of the key ones. We'll see how it comes around this week if those guys are still able to go. But you're right at the running back position. Yeah, it felt for a moment there, Paul, like we were down to Ernest Johnson, and that was kind of it. Luckily, Henderson came back in.
Terrell Jennings is out, and you didn't know originally if Henderson was going to be able to get back in, but, the two big plays. And you see the speed. That's the stuff, and I almost want to say, like, folks, this is what we were talking about all summer. That's the kind of electricity that we saw in the practice field, so it was good to see him. Just funny, to me, I don't know if I've ever remember seeing a guy so actively looking to the sideline to say, should I go in? Can I score? Should I not score? And it was interesting. I mean, ultimately, I think he probably should have just gone down and the game is over, but, like, who cares? Another touchdown.
Let the kid pad the stats.
Right.
Two guys I just want to give shout-outs to, Mac Hollins and Steph Diggs. We've seen what they've done for this team in that receiver room off the field all year. I think now it's starting to translate on the field.
I mean, just a huge touchdown catch from Steph Diggs. I mean, that just amazing. Getting the feet down, going up to get the ball, pressure situation. You got to come away with points there. And then to recover the onside kick, and that's something he said he hasn't done before.
Her watching.
I know, me too. Thank God he seems like he's okay from that. And then, Mac Hollins really starting to come on. Great leadership off the field, and like you said, on the field starting to deliver too.
The level of difficulty of that Diggs catch was off the charts. But that is an enormous difference maker. If you come away with no points when you kind of got a little cute with the clock there, I think mentally you're in a much different spot when you go into that locker room, and Diggs made sure that didn't happen. And then just as impressive, Mike pointed out the onside kick recovery.
Yeah.
Knowing you're going to take a shot there, that's putting the team first. And that's what this team just seems so connected to me. And I think that's why it's having so much success.
Still to come on Patriots Unfiltered on TV. A short week of prep to get ready for the Jets. We'll preview the matchup against Gang Green. Evan Lazar goes inside the film room to break down the Jets' offense. Did the Patriots do the right thing at the trade deadline? Trash Talk debates the decisions. And I'll go one-on-one with Kyle Williams.
Patriots Unfiltered on TV is brought to you by Cross Insurance, official insurance broker of the New England Patriots, and by Sports Illustrated Tickets. 50 million sports, concerts, and theater tickets. Same seats, better prices. Fans deserve better.
You're watching Patriots Unfiltered on TV.
What's up, everybody? It's Evan Lazar. It's the Week 11 Thursday night football edition of the Patriots Unfiltered film room. Let's talk a little bit of Jets offense. Really explosive Jets run game. Number one in the league in explosive run rate, all centered around their quarterback, Justin Fields, and Breece Hall, their star running back. So player I want to highlight on this play, though, is Armand Membu, their first-round rookie tackle. We talked about him plenty during draft season. Extremely athletic tackle that can pull, and that's exactly what they're going to do with him here. He's going to pull on this tackle trap play, and then Justin Fields is going to read number 97 here on the end of the line. So as we roll the play a little bit, let's pause it right there. You can see 97 is the read player, right? So if 97 comes inside, Justin Fields is going to give the ball to Breece Hall on the outside. If he stays out here, he's going to keep it, and he's going to run himself right into this open area by Membu. He decides to give the ball here. Breece Hall gets out on the edge, and that is a 35-yard touchdown to the house for the Jets. So the Jets have a very explosive run game. It all centers around the quarterback run game with Justin Fields. On a short week, the Patriots got a cramp. I'm Evan Lazar.
The Patriots are flying high ahead of their first division matchup against the Jets, and despite trading off a few of their best defensive players, New York is coming off a win as they touch down in New England for Thursday Night Football. Paul, Mike, how are we feeling about the roster turnover there?
2 special team scores last week for them against the Browns in the first quarter, sets the tone for the game a little bit. They still have some players on defense too, specifically Will McDonald, who had 9 pressures, 4 sacks against the Browns. So he's going to be active. I think the biggest thing for me this week is just don't lose the game in the margins. Don't lose the games due to a big special team score. Don't allow Will McDonald to come off the ball and, force their second turnover of the season. That's right, folks. They've got 1 fumble forced all season long, no interceptions, not a lot of takeaways from this Jets team. Short week, Patriots got to take care of business.
Just to let you know how incredible the Jets' win over Cleveland was. I saw this stat in the immediate aftermath.
Good.
The Browns allowed fewer than 175 total yards and didn't turn the ball over. Do you know what the record of teams that do that is? 225-0.
Wow.
But it's now 225-1 because the Jets won while accumulating fewer than 175 yards of offense and not forcing a turnover. That's losing in the margins, Mike. That's exactly what you're talking about. Don't allow the special team stuff to creep in and clean it up. Just clean it up.
No, you're right. I mean, the offense was living and dying with Breece Hall. 125 yards of total offense. Justin Fields only threw for 54 yards, 6 for 11. But you're right, it's a short week, and I look at Barmore kind of missing some time in the last game. As good as this run defense has been, do you hope they hold up for Breece Hall?
The standard we're trying to hold them to is ridiculous. Right. They continue to be outstanding, first in rushing attempts, first in rushing yards. So they're really doing a good job. I think that's where the game has to play. Keep Breece Hall contained. Don't let him have a big touchdown run like he had last week against the Browns, and I think he'll be all right.
I've seen other running backs go up against the Patriots this year. None of them really seem to be, Bijan Robinson, James Cook, none of them seem to be at their best when they're playing against this front seven. I don't expect Breece Hall to control the game.
When you guys look at what the Jets are kind of working with now on defense, where do you think the Patriots can really do some damage?
I mean, Quinnen Williams is no longer in the middle of their defense, so maybe there's some room to run. We know the Patriots' run offense has had, some struggles and a lot of injuries piling up, so that's a big challenge. But, overall, I'd look at the 2 edge rushers, Will McDonald, like I mentioned, and Jermaine Johnson.
That means the Patriots' offense needs to come to play. Early on in the game, take away any belief that the Jets might have. You ask what they could do against it. I think you could do either one. They've been leaky against the run even when Quinnen Williams was there. Almost 5 yards a carry allowing. And, Cleveland doesn't have exactly the most high-powered offense, so forgive me if I'm not necessarily wowed by the performance that the Jets had against Cleveland.
Fair enough.
I think the Patriots should be able to move the ball through the air against this depleted secondary with no Sauce Gardner back there.
Yeah, bye, Sauce. I'm now joined in studio by Patriots wide receiver Kyle Williams, who is fresh off his first NFL touchdown. Did you come off the high yet?
No, not yet, but we got to let it go to rest and get ready for this game Thursday.
Okay, fair enough. I mean, we got to talk about it a little bit, though. Okay. Unbelievable ball from Drake.
No,
and
definitely.
I'm wondering, when you see that DB kind of sell out and undercut you, did you just know you were taking it to the house?
It's funny because I didn't see the DB. I only seen the ball. So once I seen the ball, I caught it, and I turned up, and I was like, it's too good to be true. The first one can't be this easy, but I just seen green grass, and I was like, yeah, born way out, I got to go.
You hit 21.78 miles per hour. Do you feel like you were topping out at your max speed, or you think you had a little more?
No, I definitely had a lot more.
Yeah?
Yeah, in the tank for sure. I felt like I was my legs were heavy.
Okay.
And I felt like I was stepping in sand, but everybody told me you were skedaddling, you were sliding. I was like, it didn't feel like it, but once I watched it, I was like, ooh.
The change in acceleration was cool. We were all talking about it was like Mario Kart. Drive over the power
you get
boost.
the little coins
Yeah,
and going.
exactly.
Yeah.
After the game, Stephon Diggs was talking about just how proud he is of you and Travion Henderson, because he's hard on you guys and he sees your potential. I'm wondering, I want to hear about the tough love. How is he hard on you?
For us, I guess it's just friendly competition. You know, it's just that competitive stamina, competitive spirit is like, you know what, like, you can do what you want to do. You know what I'm saying? So don't hold yourself back. So every day he just keeps pushing it out of us. So I'm gladly and I appreciate that.
You come into a receiver room that's really different than last year, but it's all you know. What was it like coming into that room as a rookie with guys like Steph Diggs, a pro vet like Matt Collins, and then young guys with so much potential too?
Stephon Diggs, idol that I watched growing up. Matt Collins, you hear all the interesting conspiracy theories that he got.
For sure.
Yeah, Kayshawn Booty Pop, those are dudes that I knew about coming into this room, and it's just like once you see the different personalities that we have, I mean, it's not a question of why we click so much and why we just always around each other and laughing and joking and just high spirit.
I know you're pretty low key, you like to just football, video games, but what have you gotten into out here? How are you adjusting to the East Coast?
I've just been trying to get into cooking. So I've been starting off with small dishes, you know, steak, burger, mac and cheese and everything. But I found my dessert.
Okay.
Y'all ready?
Yeah.
Banana pudding.
Okay.
I can make some banana pudding.
And this is your recipe, or you found this online or something?
It's my sister's.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's fair. It's a family recipe.
Yeah,
then.
she can cook.
You just say family recipe?
Yeah, family recipe. We're going to keep it there, but banana pudding.
Entrees though, what's your specialty? What have you mastered anything yet?
No, you know, we go to the store, we buy a big bag of French fries. We buy some garlic knots. The entrees have got to be store-bought. I ain't there yet. Maybe I can get my own apron.
Oh.
That'd be dope. With
All right.
K-Money in the middle.
We'll follow up on that for sure. Kyle, thank you so much for joining us. Best of luck on Thursday night. And I usually say Sunday, but best of luck on Thursday.
Yeah, we got to get used to that.
Yes. And we'll be back with more Patriots Unfiltered on TV after the break.
Patriots Unfiltered on TV is brought to you by Cross Insurance, official insurance broker of the New England Patriots, and by Sports Illustrated Tickets. 50 million sports, concerts, and theater tickets. Same seats, better prices. Fans deserve better.
You're watching Patriots Unfiltered on TV.
Speed. You either have it or you don't. Last Sunday, we witnessed two Patriots rookies who most certainly do. When Drake Maye dropped back to his own 20 and arced a perfect strike to Kyle Williams, the rookie wide receiver went into hyperdrive. It wasn't just the straight line speed that Williams displayed, it was the quickness in which he got to that top speed that was so amazing. I haven't seen that on a Patriot since Bethel Johnson. Google him for you youngins. If the dazzle from Williams wasn't enough, his rookie counterpart, Trevion Henderson, put on a show of his own with 55 and 69-yard scores. Again, speed. It's been quite a while since the Patriots had a running back who could flat out beat the defense to the end zone. Open field runs seem to always get caught from behind. Not Henderson, it was jump out of your seat action. The future is lightning bright for these two speedsters.
It's widely accepted that football is a game of attrition, and as this season has progressed, the Patriots are finding some of their starters sidelined by injury. In this week's Trash Talk debate, should the Patriots have been more active in getting more depth on the roster? Here's Paul Perillo and Mike Dussault.
All right, say it with me, Paul. We all we got, we all we need. I know the Patriots.
Saying that.
I know the Patriots didn't do anything at the trade deadline, but look, I got to respect what they're doing. They're saving their assets. This is the first year of a new regime. Young quarterback playing really well. They've still been able to rattle off these wins. Now, I know there's definitely some current concerns at running back after last week in Tampa Bay. Terrell Jennings getting banged up as well. Maybe some edge depth could be used, but overall, I think the Patriots have what they need to make this a successful season.
I hate to say it, but I agree 100% with what you just said. And that's why I think they should have invested in it, Mike. I think that there was an opportunity to get a little bit more depth, a little bit better. You don't have to mortgage the future to do that. You could have moved some of those sixth-round picks to provide some depth in case you have more injuries. I do think that they could have done a little bit more to try to get something. I'm not suggesting using an important draft pick, a day 1 or 2 pick, to do that. Maybe Breece Hall was a little bit too much. There had to be some other options there, because I do look at this landscape right now, and the Patriots going to Tampa and winning in such a fashion like that, it strengthens it even more in my mind. I wish they had done a little bit something that might be able to help down the road.
I look at a guy like Breece Hall and say, well, if you're going to trade a pick for him now, then you're going to have to give him a contract too. Is this the guy you want? Is this the guy that you want to build around going forward? He's a good player, don't get me wrong, but I'm not so sure that's a position. And I know you kind of feel the same about the running back spot there.
I do.
I don't totally feel like they shouldn't have done nothing at that spot. And still, maybe you look down at a guy like Jermichael Hasty, who was here in the summer, has been around maybe a little bit. I don't know how much those guys move the needle, though.
Other spots on the roster, too. The edge depth, to me, is something that is worth watching. Nice to see Elijah Ponder, though,
Yeah.
jump in and be active in the second half of that game coming off the edge. So I know that it's, we got and all that stuff, and I think they probably do like some of the depth they have with some of these younger pieces that we haven't seen a lot of. I still would feel a little bit better if they invested a little bit more, because I think this team is worth investing in.
Well, the Patriots going to have any remorse about not picking up Breece Hall? Well, they're going to get a look at him this week against the Jets. See what we think is going to happen in predictions after the break.
Now back to Patriots Unfiltered on TV.
Thursday night football games are always tough to handicap, but so far this season, home teams are 6-3. In a short week against a division opponent, New England is an 11.5 favorite, and the over-under is 43.5. So a little bit of movement there. Paul.
11.5 points. That's a lot.
That's a lot of respect.
That's a lot. You know what?
A short week.
I'm weighing the points, baby. I don't see the Jets being able to put much offense together. Thursday night division matchups can be tighter than you think, but I'm going to say the Patriots do just enough offensively. I'm going to go 23-6 New England.
Man, I'm right in that same exact area. I was going to say 24-6. I feel similarly, though. I think this is a great opportunity for Drake Maye to really just have another one of those games that puts him in the MVP conversation and reminds people of how devastating he can be, especially at home. They're wearing these rivalry uniforms. They can't drop it in the new unis. I'm going Patriots big.
That's true.
Sharp jacket Alex got on for the right.
I rose to the occasion. You guys did not, but it's fine.
It's time to show.
I'm going to take the Patriots, really lay it on the Jets in prime time. Patriots 28, Jets 13. That's going to be it for this edition of Patriots Unfiltered on TV. As a reminder, you can catch the three of us every week on Patriots Unfiltered on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays from noon to 2 p.m. on Patriots.com. For Paul Perillo and Mike Dussault, I'm Alex Francisco, and we'll catch you next week.